What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Let's get right into it. After an action-packed night at UFC 327, tensions quickly escalated between Paulo Costa and Josh Hokit as the two fighters engaged in a heated exchange on social media following their respective performances. Josh Hokit delivered a standout showing, securing an impressive victory that earned him both Performance of the Night and Fight of the Night bonuses. His dominant display didn't just boost his reputation, it also landed him a coveted spot on the upcoming UFC White House card. Hokit's success marked a major moment in his career, signaling his arrival as a serious contender. However, not everyone was celebrating his achievements. Paulo Costa, known as much for his outspoken personality as his fighting style, appeared frustrated after missing out on a bonus himself. Soon after the event, Costa took to social media to vent his dissatisfaction, directing his frustration squarely at Hokit. In a blunt and aggressive post, Costa accused Hokit of taking what he believed should have been his bonus and warned him about a future clash. Hokit didn't hold back in his response. Matching Costa's intensity, he fired back with a series of insults, mocking Costa while also hyping up his own physicality and confidence. The exchange quickly escalated into a war of words, with both fighters trading personal jabs and bold threats. As the back and forth intensified, Costa proposed an unusual idea, suggesting that the two settle their differences in a fight for the BMF baddest mother title, with no weight limit and a winner-takes-all stipulation. The proposal added another layer of intrigue, as it hinted at a potential clash fueled not just by competition, but by genuine animosity. Hokit, unfazed by the challenge, responded with a chilling message of his own, making it clear he would welcome the opportunity. While it remains uncertain whether this matchup will become official, one thing is clear. The rivalry between Paulo Costa and Josh Hokit has captured attention, and fans would undoubtedly be eager to see these two settle their score inside the octagon. Before we continue, please like the video, subscribe, and turn on notifications to stay up to date with all our latest content. Moving on to another news. The aftermath of the fight between Gigi Prochazka and Carlos Ulberg continues to generate intense discussion across the MMA community, with several hot-push-off voices weighing in on Prochazka's controversial post-fight comments. Among them, Dustin Poirier offered a particularly direct and critical perspective. Following the bout, Prochazka suggested that he had shown mercy during the fight, a claim that quickly raised eyebrows among fighters and analysts alike. While some interpreted the comment as confidence, others viewed it as an exaggeration that didn't accurately reflect what unfolded inside the octagon. Dustin Poirier, speaking during a segment on Paramount Plus, did not hesitate to challenge that narrative. Known for his straightforward and honest analysis, Poirier made it clear that he strongly disagreed with Prochazka's interpretation of the fight. In his view, the idea of mercy didn't align with what he observed. Poirier explained that, from his perspective, Prochazka appeared to be strategically controlling the situation rather than holding back out of compassion. He described the performance as calculated, suggesting that Prochazka recognized his opponent was hurt and chose to take his time setting up a decisive finish. Rather than rushing in recklessly, Prochazka seemed to be picking his moments carefully, almost as if he was playing with his food before going in for the kill. This distinction is important, as it shifts the narrative from one of sportsmanship to one of tactical dominance. According to Poirier, what fans witnessed was not mercy, but composure and fight IQ, traits that are often the difference between good fighters and great ones. The comments have added another layer of intrigue to Prochazka's performance, and could potentially fuel further tension should he face Ulberg again in the future. With differing interpretations of the same fight, the storyline has evolved beyond the result itself, sparking debate about mindset, intent, and the psychology of elite fighters. As discussions continue, one thing is certain: moments like these keep the sport engaging, giving fans and fighters alike plenty to talk about long after the final bell. Moving on to another news. The light heavyweight division continues to heat up as potential matchups involving Carlos Ulberg gain momentum, with one name consistently surfacing as a possible opponent: Magomed Ankalaev. Ankalaev has made it clear that he is eager to test himself against top-tier competition, and Ulberg appears to be firmly on his radar. In a recent interview, Ankalaev expressed his interest in facing the surging contender, signaling that he sees Ulberg as a legitimate challenge and a meaningful step forward in the division. This interest was further reinforced through Ankalaev's activity on social media, where he openly called for high-profile fights. In addition to mentioning Ulberg, Ankalaev also issued a challenge to Gigi Prochazka, daring him to step up for a potential showdown. His bold approach highlights his desire to stay active and compete against the very best, regardless of the opponent. To engage fans even further, Ankalaev conducted a poll asking who they would most like to see him fight next: Ulberg, Prochazka, or Paulo Costa. Early responses suggest that a clash with Ulberg is generating the most interest, indicating strong fan support for that matchup. The conversation around Ankalaev Ankalaev's next opponent didn't stop there. On the Pound for Pound podcast, hosted by Kamaru Usman and Henry Cejudo, the topic was discussed in detail. Cejudo introduced an intriguing perspective, suggesting that Ankalaev versus Ulberg is not only a compelling fight, but potentially the most logical next step for the division. However, the discussion also opened the door to other possibilities. Depending on how upcoming fights play out, particularly those involving Khamzat Chimaev and Sean Strickland, the divisional landscape could shift dramatically. If Chimaev continues his rise, there may be opportunities for crossover matchups or unexpected title paths that could reshape matchmaking plans. There was even mention of potential future clashes involving Paulo Costa, further emphasizing how interconnected the divisions have become. While nothing is officially confirmed, the growing buzz around Ankalaev versus Ulberg suggests it could be one of the most exciting fights to make next, with both fighters looking to solidify their positions among the elite. Moving on to another news. Sean O'Malley recently shared his thoughts on the highly anticipated matchup between Khamzat Chimaev and Sean Strickland, offering a balanced perspective on what could unfold when the two collide at UFC 328. Chimaev enters the fight as a significant favorite, with betting odds reflecting strong confidence in his dominance. Much of that confidence stems from his relentless wrestling, suffocating top control, and ability to finish fights both via ground and pound and submissions. Many believe his grappling will once again prove too much for Strickland to handle. However, O'Malley pointed out that the fight may not be as straightforward as the odds suggest. While he acknowledged that Chimaev is likely to rely on his wrestling to secure takedowns and control positions, he also highlighted a potential path to victory for Strickland. According to O'Malley, the key factor is the duration of the fight. With a scheduled 5-round, 25-minute contest, endurance could play a critical role. Strickland is widely known for his exceptional cardio and ability to maintain a steady pace over long fights. O'Malley noted, though, that while Strickland's gas tank is impressive, it hasn't often been tested under constant grappling pressure. He explained that repeatedly defending takedowns, scrambling back to the feet, and being forced to do it all over again is one of the most exhausting experiences in MMA. Drawing from his own experience, O'Malley described how constantly getting back up after takedowns can quickly drain a fighter's energy and even impact their striking effectiveness. Despite this, O'Malley expressed curiosity about how Strickland would respond if he could withstand the early grappling assault. He suggested that if anyone has the style and toughness to potentially disrupt Chimaev's dominance, it could be someone like Strickland. Beyond the technical breakdown, tensions between the two fighters have added even more intrigue. The rivalry has become increasingly heated, prompting Dana White to implement additional security measures to keep them separated during fight week. With stylistic contrasts, high stakes, and personal animosity involved, this matchup is shaping up to be one of the most compelling and unpredictable fights in recent memory. Moving on to another news. Dana White has responded directly to the significant backlash surrounding the UFC's planned event at the White House, aiming to clarify misconceptions and address growing criticism from fans and media alike. White emphasized that one of the biggest misunderstandings about the event is related to its funding. He firmly stated that not a single dollar of taxpayer money will be used to support the card. According to him, the entire production is being funded privately by the UFC as a gesture to commemorate a historic milestone, the 250th anniversary of the United States. He described the event as a gift from the organization, intended to celebrate the nation rather than serve any financial or political agenda. Addressing the political concerns head-on, White made it clear that the event is not meant to promote any political ideology or affiliation. He acknowledged that in today's climate, people often view major public events through a political lens, whether they identify as right-leaning, left-leaning, or somewhere in between. However, he insisted that this particular event transcends those divisions. White explained that the purpose of hosting a UFC event at such an iconic location is to highlight the broader story of the United States, its history, its people, and the values it was built upon. He framed the event as a unifying celebration, designed to bring people together regardless of their political beliefs. In his view, it is about honoring the country's legacy and showcasing what makes it unique on a global stage. He also noted that while the event will take place on the White House lawn and will be attended by the sitting President of the United States, that aspect should not be interpreted as a political statement. Instead, he presented it as part of the symbolic significance of the occasion. Ultimately, White encouraged fans to see beyond the controversy and focus on the bigger picture. He believes that anyone who appreciates the history and spirit of America will recognize the event for what it is intended to be, a celebration, not a political platform. Moving on to another news. Kamaru Usman has shared strong advice for Paulo Costa following the Brazilian's impressive debut at light heavyweight, urging him to fully commit to the 205-pound division and pursue a title opportunity. After watching Costa's performance against Azamat Murzakanov, Usman was clearly impressed by how well he adapted to the new weight class. He highlighted Costa's improved physical presence, noting that he looked bigger, faster, and in far better condition compared to his middleweight appearances. According to Usman, Costa didn't just survive at light heavyweight, he thrived. Breaking down the fight, Usman praised Costa's movement and striking efficiency. He pointed out how Costa was able to stay mobile, using lateral movement to avoid pressure while consistently landing effective strikes. From well-timed body kicks to sharp jabs and clean straight punches, Costa displayed a more composed and strategic approach. As the fight progressed into the later rounds, he began to open up even more, mixing in head kicks and maintaining control of the pace. What stood out most to Usman was Costa's comfort and confidence at 205 pounds. He emphasized that Costa did not appear undersized in any way. In fact, he looked physically imposing and even larger than his opponent at times. This, in Usman's view, is a clear sign that Costa has found the right division for his skill set moving forward. Beyond the performance itself, Usman also pointed to the current state of the light heavyweight division. With uncertainty surrounding top contenders like Carlos Ulberg and Magomed Ankalaev, the title picture is more open than it has been in years. This creates a unique opportunity for someone like Costa to quickly rise through the ranks. Usman believes that if Costa can secure one more victory against a top-tier opponent, he could find himself firmly in the title conversation. With momentum on his side and a division lacking a clear frontrunner, Costa may be in the perfect position to chase championship gold in a second weight class. Moving on to another news. Rising welterweight contender Michael Morales has recently revealed details about two notable encounters that have added intrigue to his fast-growing presence in the division, including a heated altercation with Ian Machado. Gary. According to Morales, the confrontation with Gary took place some time ago at the UFC Performance Institute in Las Vegas. While he didn't go into full detail, Morales described the situation as intense, claiming he directly confronted Gary over an undisclosed issue. He also noted that Gary was fortunate there were no cameras present, implying the incident could have gained significant attention had it been recorded. Despite the tension, Morales acknowledged that both fighters have their own perspectives on what happened and suggested that the matter will ultimately be settled inside the octagon. Morales made it clear that a potential fight with Gary would bring out a different side of him. Known for his composed and calculated style, Morales hinted that he would adopt a far more aggressive approach if the two were to meet. Considering he is already coming off multiple first-round knockout victories, the prospect of an even more aggressive Morales adds an extra layer of excitement to a possible matchup. In addition to his run-in with Gary, Morales also spoke about a brief interaction with Islam Makhachev. The two crossed paths backstage at an event where Makhachev captured the welterweight title. Morales recalled that they simply acknowledged each other from a distance, both seemingly aware that a future clash could be on the horizon. What stood out most from Morales' comments was his mindset toward the reigning champion. He expressed no fear or admiration, stating that he does not place Makhachev on a pedestal despite his dominance. Morales emphasized that he views the champion as just another opponent, someone human, beatable, and ultimately standing in the way of his goal. With Morales emerging as a leading contender and Gary also pushing for a title opportunity, tensions are clearly building. The welterweight division appears to be heading towards several explosive matchups, both inside and outside the cage.